You best start believing in ghost stories, Miss Turner. You're in one.
We pillage, we plunder, we rifle and loot. Drink up, me hearties, yo ho. We kidnap and ravage and don't give a hoot. Drink up, me hearties, yo ho. Yo ho.
I don't know a single person who does not remember that ride fondly. Who, even if they've got on it just once, 20 years before, they go, oh yeah, I like that ride.
I had, great memories of going on that ride when I was a little kid. Because when you're a little kid, all you want to be is a pirate,
Yo ho, yo ho.
I'm Paris, I love this song.
Drink up, me hearties, yo ho.
There's something ingrained in the song and in the images of that ride, and it was really scary, when I was very young.
Be off before she blows.
Yes, there is reason to fret.
We're working on a full-scale pirate.
This'll animate when we have it in the show, to carry on a regular little story,
Then he'll be audio animatronic.
Audio animatronic, that's right.
I must have been 13 or 14 the first time I was on the ride. I was amazed at how real those pirates were.
It was a really good use of animatronics, so that was the first time we saw skeletons talking.
Hold on tight.
Dogs barking. At that time, you had to question whether that was real or not.
And for the rest of the ride, it was this combination of utter dread that something was going to pop out, that it was going to be the scariest thing I ever saw, and just absolute fascination.
And where do the stories come from, I wonder?
And that had a lot to do with what we wanted to do with Pirates of the Caribbean, is to basically come up with a story that would be as close to the feelings that I had the first time I went on that ride.
The cursed treasure of Cortez himself.
The film really is derived from the spirit of the ride, and the ride also provides a narrative.
The entire idea of the cursed treasure and the cursed pirates, that's that first part coming into the ride where you have the skeletons and, the voice that says,
"No fear have ye of evil curses, says you.
I probably warned ye, thee, says I.
Uncursed it be, cursed by the black-hearted rogues what left it."
So the heathen gods placed upon the gold a terrible curse.
That became the idea of the curse that Barbossa and his crew were under.
That's very interesting.
Now we'll go around and see the town that the pirates are sacking.
It's a movie that has little reminders of the ride throughout the film, which I think is wonderful.
Some of the things that I remember from the ride are kind of being between a ship and a fortress that are firing on each other, and the big splashes in the water. So those elements are in there.
Now over here, Julie, is the town. This is a Caribbean town at the period.
If every town in the world were like this one, no man would ever feel unwanted.
The island of Tortuga.
Tortuga? Tortuga.
Which is the seedy island where the pirates are.
What do you think?
Do I hear 6? Who makes it 6?
We watch the ready! We watch the ready!
Scholars.
We took as much of the elements of the ride at Disneyland. The pirates shooting people. The pirate dunking the guy in the well.
I will not talk.
So we did all these things from the ride.
Do she be a lively lassie? No!
When Jack and Will look up Gibbs, he's basically wallowing with the pigs, and so you have that moment.
I
Oh, and of course we have the prisoners in the cell with the bow.
How's about a nice, juicy bow?
Come here, boy.
Come on, nice juicy brown.
And they're tempting the dog.
Here, boy.
That's where Jack says,
You can keep doing that forever. The dog is never going to move.
never.
Come on, you filthy, slimy, mangy.
There were a few points where we got stuck, or you'd have to come up with some sort of story solution, and several times we were able to actually go back to the ride.
There's a scene in the movie where Will is starting to suspect that Jack may have a secret agenda.
May I ask you something? Have I ever given you reason not to trust me?
We just can't have this come out of nowhere. We need something to cue it. And in the ride, one of the images that people remember is the skeleton with the sword in his back. And so that is actually in the movie, and that's what cues Will to start wondering, hey, is this guy gonna stab me in the back?
What code is Gibbs to keep to if the worst should happen?
For the real fans of the ride, they'll also remember that there's a couple of crabs there, you know, in the sand. I mean, down to that level of detail, and they got him there. I was so happy to see that that level of detail had been followed. It was great.
I did notice. Now, these sketches here have to do with some of the things that are going to happen when you take this cruise through the pirates' domain.
We were trying to take a little bit of the feel in the cave and the ride at Disneyland. We came up with the concept that it's from the island of the dead, which is where the Caribbean island where the Aztec gold is hidden in this volcanic cave in the mountains. It's all a volcanic rock and feel on the inside with the black sands.
One of the things that a lot of people say was, yeah, you know, it was a very good movie. Well, but where were the fireflies? There were no fireflies. And we're like, we couldn't fit them in, please, you know, next time, leave us alone.
Satisfied?
Now, as an adult, going back to the ride, geez, even taking my kids on the ride, you know, just continue to go on that ride. Oh, it's fantastic. I mean, it's a great, I love that ride. I'd go on it, you know, endlessly.
Well, thank you, Jack.
Now, I'm sure if I went to the ride and one thing was changed, I'd be upset.
They might have to update the ride now.
What?
Don't mess with the ride, man.
Oh, good. No worries then.